Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Thanks for being here today. Hope that everything's well in your life, that things are going exactly the way you want them to. I know we're all dealing with lots of complexity, and I've been reading a lot of emails from our women lately about just how do we fit, in this crazy time? Like, how do we find our place? How do we find and define who we are? Like, things have changed so much. Children have left home, perhaps, and we've changed jobs or left work. We've got family breaking up, or at least living halfway around the world now. It's not abnormal to have have family in thousands and thousands of miles away. Just different than how it used to be. But anyway, how it used to be is in the past, and we are moving forward in the future. Now, my tea today is a little treat. One of our readers, Julia Kelly from South Carolina, sent me some boxes of tea, and it was so cool to get them, Julia. Thank you so much. They're from a Charleston tea plantation, and I didn't even know there was a Charleston tea plantation in the States, but apparently it's a very big tea company. She sent me this one, which is a peach tea. And I haven't tried that one yet, but I did try the English breakfast and also the Carolina mint tea. Isn't that cool? It's in Charleston. So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, Julia, for sending those to me. I am going through them slowly and beautifully, and it's just so wonderful for you to have thought of me and to send them along. So thank you for adding to my wonderful tea passion and tea collection. So cheers, everybody. I've got my mint tea this morning. Hope that you've got something wonderful. And thank you again, Julia. Very much appreciate it. Julia Kelly. So here we are. I pulled out my card this morning because I do a little meditation every day, and it was all about basically creating your new normal, your new normal. It's like no one else is normal. And this card, which is, be your own normal. It's my little inspirational deck of cards, the Aging Beautifully. We've got them in stock now, and people are really getting a lot out of them. So I wanted just to mention that. It's one of the few things that we do sell. We have yoga videos as well. But this one was all about really being unapologetically who you are. And don't worry about what anybody else thinks. And it's good to reflect on that and to live it and to really, truly not worry. Now, one of our bloggers, Elise Marquam Johns, wrote an article with an idea that I thought was so cool. I wanted to share with you. You need 20 minutes. So if you haven't got 20 minutes now, we can do it later. But here's the deal. Her question was, do you feel happy? And if you're not feeling totally happy with your life, something is missing. Here's an exercise that you can do that she claims, and actually when I didn't do it, but I thought about it, really could make a difference. And it sort of, the question pivots around, are you happy where you are? Is your surrounding, is your home, is your place, your city, town, where you want to be? And a lot of people are changing their minds about that, and even for some of the year, going to other parts of the world or other cities and towns, because that's where their soul is. And I think that's what Elise is talking about here. And so this exercise was based on a book by Barbara Sher, S-H-E-R, Barbara Sher, and it's called My Ideal Day. That's the exercise. It's what you do. So the point is to sit down with a piece of paper and pen, or you can do it in front of your computer with your computer if you prefer a screen, and really just write an exquisite, beautiful, descriptive story of your ideal day. What do you do from the moment you wake up in this ideal day to the time you go to sleep? And stop thinking about don't have enough money, don't have enough time, don't have enough whatever. Put no conditions around this, just no conditions at all, and just write a story, a page or so, of your ideal day. Now, wants, passions, needs, desires, don't limit yourself to what's possible. Use your beautiful imagination and just write. And it's important to put lots of adjectives, lots of adjectives that describe in very specific detail what are you surrounded by? What do you do? Okay, so what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? How, where, what do you have for breakfast? Are you alone? Are you with someone? This is an ideal world, not necessarily the real world. I mean, what do you do between breakfast and lunch? I mean, you can have breakfast in Paris and you can have lunch in Morocco if you want. Everything's possible. This is not meant to be, like a true, real story. Just where would you love to be for breakfast? Where would you love to be for lunch? Or where would you love to have dinner? What would you like to do in between? What activities? What would you like to see? What's surrounding you? Just think about it and do that exercise and then see what you come up with, because I think reading Elise's article will help you to get some in deeper ideas, but it's better to do this exercise when you don't have any really suggestions about how it's going to turn out at the end. But just keep this in your mind. This is the ideal day. And then give yourself some time to relax. Just relax and absorb what you've written and maybe make some changes or add some more descriptive words. And then when you've had a moment to sit down and reflect, break it down into the following. What is absolutely essential in that list for your happiness? What can you absolutely not do without in that story that you wrote? Okay, so what's absolutely essential? The second one, which is indispensable, kind of necessary. What do you want in your life that's in your story that is pretty much very, very desirable, more than desirable. It's kind of like it really, really would be great. Not mandatory, but great. The third thing is to identify what is optional. Totally optional, like what you really don't need specifically to be happy. You wrote it down because it was something that you dreamed of, that you really wanted, but it's not necessary and it's not absolutely mandatory. It is optional. And then, of course, you can identify the frills. So break it down between the things that you absolutely have to have, the things you really sort of want, the ones that you are okay if you want, and then the things that were, well, that was silly. That was great fun. And then look at what you've got. Now, what's really interesting here is that you might, for example, never be able to have breakfast in Paris, and lunch in Morocco. But what you had said there was that you love to travel. Now, if you can't afford to travel to Paris or to Morocco, you can go other places. You can fill that need for travel somehow in your life. You can watch videos. Online now, you can do some incredible. If you go to YouTube and just type in tour of Vienna, you'll get the whole city of Vienna. Somebody else will have gone and you can just share it. It's okay. It doesn't have to be you. Another thing she said was one woman did this test and then she said, this is absolutely required for me, but really something I always have had, it kept appearing throughout my story, was flowers. I loved, I could see the spring flowers. I could see the trees changing color. I kind of wrote words that indicated how much I really love flowers. So there you go. That's another tip for you to make you happy. Surround yourself with the things that you mentioned often. So, even if it's only buying artificial flowers or go to, get some bargain flowers at the market, flowers are pretty much going to make you happy. I mean, we're not talking about like deep ecstatic happy, but it's going to be a tone. It's going to paint a tone of happiness in your life. Another one, a woman described her house, her living room, and how it had the beautiful, how she sat on the sofa and the cushions were all different colors of the rainbow. And then she said, gosh, my house is like completely beige and brown. And I think I'll make some cushions that are bright. So, just by doing this little My Ideal Day, you can kind of test out what you could surround yourself with that would make you feel happy. I think it's a kind of cool idea. And I haven't done this myself yet. I probably should. And then we could compare notes. But, what do you think? Have you ever done something like this? Or did you just do it and come back to this article and leave some comments? I'd really love to know, what did you notice as you were thinking about your ideal day? What were some of the elements? Did anything pop up that surprised you? And I guess the question is, are you going to do anything as a result of this exercise or this conversation that you've already realized, wow, that would make me happy, that you're going to change it in your life? It's a great article, Elise. Thank you so much for writing it, because I personally came up with in my mind some things that, like flowers for me is definitely one thing. Whenever I bought some tulips the other day, and whenever I just see them, they make me smile just for that moment. And I think that even though true happiness is not conditional on outside things, it is conditional on your sense of self. And that's where this exercise takes you. It takes you to a place where you are saying, this is who I am. And if I can resonate with that, I'm going to be a happier person. So leave your comments in the section below as to how you're going to bring happiness into your life, and whether you did this exercise, what you found, how you found it to be. And look forward to reading your comments and welcoming you back here in the future. But please don't forget to check out 60andme.com. Leave your comments there too, or on Facebook. We raise these issues all the time, and it's just great to have you having the conversation with us and being on this journey. Thanks, everybody. Have a really wonderful day, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye for now.